Hi guys, welcome to Mark Bajerski YouTube channel. It's a beautiful day today. The sun is shining. We're in a beautiful garden here in Ubud, Bali, and today I'm going to talk about a lovely crystal that they're not easy to find these days, but they are really beautiful. So I'm going to show you straight away. I'm wearing one today. Have a look at it. This is what's known as, and if you look at it, it kind of looks very similar to a watermelon, right? Look at the colours from within to the outside, so it looks almost like a watermelon, right? It's a beautiful crystal. So they call this crystal watermelon tourmaline. It's a beautiful crystal that I've worked with on many occasions for many years. You can actually get some really fine specimens, which I think about a year ago I was lucky enough to find one particular specimen which obviously costs a lot of money because of its quality of how it looks. But nevertheless, guys, never think that quality of a crystal, whether they're a beautiful specimen or not, whether, you know, in your mind you're thinking, it must be more powerful. That is not the case at all. That's not true. Any crystal that you get, no matter what, whether it's beautiful, whether it's rough, whether it's cut and polished, doesn't make any difference. The crystal is the same energy, so always remember that. However, when you buy a nice specimen, is because it makes you feel happy. It makes you feel, like anything in life. If you get something that's dirty and untidy, it's not going to make you feel as good as something, clean and polished. And, when you can sit and look at something and appreciate it, it helps you feel even more attuned. And that said, there's a lot of times I look at polished crystals and they don't turn me on as much as a natural one, right? So each to their own. Never kind of think to yourself that, is one crystal stronger than the other because of how it's made? Is it chipped? Has it got a hole in it? I think the only time they have an effect on the client is when the client believes it has an effect. So in truth, you stop yourself from attuning to that energy because you've already got an instant block because it might have a hole in or a chip on it. I buy a lot of Moldavites with slight chips on because they're hard to get perfect specimens of Moldavite which haven't been chipped, but it doesn't. I like that. There's an authenticity about that makes me filled with joy, and I feel happy that it feels like a genuine one. It's not always has to be perfect. So let's go back to watermelon tourmaline. What does this crystal do? Well, I can tell you this, which has been really quite fascinating for me. When I started using this about 9 years ago, I was working on a client, Jenny. Jenny was somebody who had a couple of pregnancies that she just couldn't go all the way through. The doctors didn't know why, but she kept losing a little child, and it was quite challenging for us both, but we sat through it and we held each other's hands, we worked together. And I remember one day I was drawn to a tourmaline, and it was a kind of funny shape. It wasn't like this one, it was slightly different in shape, but it was definitely a watermelon tourmaline. I gifted her this crystal and we began the healing process, and I used that crystal every day. So basically, she found she was pregnant again, and what she wanted to do this time was come as often as possible. And I said, look, there's no guarantees to any of this, but I will be with you, and anytime you need me, I'm here. So she came quite often. It was practically every day for the first 3 weeks. And I remember working with this beautiful watermelon tourmaline, and I'd lay it down at either side down here and just do the healing work around there and stomach and a little bit lower. As my hand went around that area, it was clearing and cleansing. And I asked her to use this tourmaline and hold it and put it on a string and put it as low as possible. So she'd wear it under her clothes, very low down. The good news is at the end of term she ended up with a little girl, which was great, and I was really pleased about that. This crystal, she always used to tell me, was the crystal that brought her child into this world. Now, whether that is so, I don't really know, but this has had an effect over the past 15 years that many people have bought this watermelon tourmaline and placed it very low down, and it really made a massive difference in pregnancy, in giving birth, and everything going right. So there is something in it. It may not be, but it's very coincidental that that actually did take place. Okay, the other wonderful things about watermelon is it really does bring you to the heart center. It really does help you move forward in all types of abuse and all sorts of things that have held you back. A lot of the times we find ourselves in a place that we can't move forward. Watermelon helps you ignite the inner light within you to be able to make the right decisions and trust them and walk on your path and believe in your journey rather than being held back by certain situations and certain people. Watermelon also brings in a massive amount of inner peace. So you'll find yourself being more calm, wanting to do more meditation, more stillness, and that's really important. When I talk about the heart chakra, I really mean that on a sense of it really brings a lot of comfort to your heart and you feel one with yourself. So this crystal is a very unique crystal that helps you on your journey of finding your inner path, your inner truth, your inner self. This crystal to me is one of my favorite crystals that I liked working with, especially on feminine, always. Masculine, for me, masculine means the strength, the power and all that. The feminine means the gentleness, the kindness, but that's also power too. So I'm talking about whether I mean feminine, not on men and women, I mean the feminine within ourselves. So if you're a guy or you are married to a man who's really angry and very powerful and feels like he doesn't believe in anything, they're a really good crystal to gift and to let them wear them, because it really does bring the feminine into them and make them feel more at peace with themselves, more comfortable in their own space. So that's kind of like my take on watermelon. There are other things that I believe watermelon is great for, which is the clearing of toxins from blood flow. If you've got issues with any kind of drugs that you've been taken on a medical issue that you have to take, then watermelon is great for bringing the detoxifying of those drugs. It doesn't help 100%, but I know it definitely helps the heart. And on a physical level, the heart clears and pumps and then clears out. So it really is wonderful for that. It's also good on a level of kidneys and liver. So if you suffer with kidneys and liver in any way, that is a great crystal. That is what I found when working with it too. And I think that's it really. I also want to just end on one note. I actually like this crystal, gifting this crystal to young lads round about between 12 and 16, when they're in that, masculine energy. I think it brings them a nice feminine energy that then brings balance into their life. So that's another thing. So I guess that's it, guys. I hope you're having a lovely day today. I'm filled with joy. I've just now finished my second story in Diary of an Accidental Psychic Part 2, which is called The Walk. Really excited about that. And then I'm going to now start on my third story. It's all beautiful here. Looking forward to the Rewake retreat, which is on the 13th of September. I hope you all, I think we're nearly full, but I hope you guys can all join me if you haven't. I think there's about another 40 days to go till we begin this beautiful journey with Lella, Satie and Tolman and myself. It should be an extraordinary experience for anybody who hasn't experienced a retreat before. And if you have, this is a slightly different take. You might enjoy it. And it's in Ubud, Bali. It's in the heart of the lush rice fields, and I'm really excited. So I'm counting down the days as well as working on the book. I'll keep going on the videos, guys. I've had my glasses on all the way through this. I'm going to upset a few people. Sorry. Okay, it is a bit bright today, so forgive me wearing glasses. Okay, guys, from my heart to yours, have a great day. Till tomorrow, take care.